Welcome to the top 10 albums of 2017 by Rauta. I'm gonna try to make this brief, and as always, I'm probably gonna fail at it, but let's take a look what this wonderful year has given us in terms of metal music. Now, most of you who know about my taste at all can pretty much figure out what kind of list is gonna be. There won't be power metal, there won't be doom metal, so sorry to disappoint you about that. But I can tell you that much, there are music from more than one subgenres, so let's hope you will find some of these albums interesting. Now, the thing is that 2017 has been very good year in my opinion. Of course, I haven't heard all the good possible albums this year, but I've been going through hundreds of albums this year as the previous ones. So I can tell you that much that we have dozens of really good albums, and by really good I mean at least 4 out of 5 rating albums, and of course quite a few 5 out of 5 ratings. So here in Rauta we don't use review scores, but you get the idea. But composing top 10 list this year hasn't been really easy because there were so many good albums where to choose from. But I tried to do my best, and I kind of had to, do a little balancing, settling some scores in a kind of in order to way to find those good albums. So here are my picks. I don't know whether you're gonna like them or not, but at least these are my recommendations for you to check out. Now, number 10 comes from Finland, and it's called black metal. It's black metal genre. It's called White Death, with the album of the very same name. Now, White Death came early 2017, so we have it reviewed, but most of these albums from the early months we don't. I'm not gonna go into details because you can pretty much check it out from the previous review. But this one is cold yet melodic, very traditional black metal, kind of a second wave style. So if you have ever before liked Nordic second wave black metal, is no reason for you to skip this one out. White Death, the debut album, definitely worth listening to. Check it out. Number 10. Now number 9 comes with the same genre, and this was one of the albums that pretty much surprised me, kind of pants down, when we were going towards the end of the year. This came to me in December, and it's called Black Sin. Now there's a full review of this one, so I'm just gonna go through briefly. Black metal is the name of the game, but this one is really kind of a melancholic, lots of good atmosphere here. And don't let the moniker fool you. Black Sin might sound like yet another gothic, atmospheric, romantic, this and that kind of metal, but this one is one of the best French black metal releases ever. And I know there are lots of good French black metal bands, but this one could be very well my favorite when I go to my early grave at some day. When I'm gonna list those bands, I hope I will remember Black Sin. So check this out, and then, oh, yes, the name, Solitude Éternelle. So, more black metal coming to your way. That is number 9. Number 8, yes, more black metal. Sorry to disappoint you who were expecting some different kind of genres, but this is the name of the game. Doodsvanger, which is kind of an international combined band, also came during the spring, and this one consists of many members from different countries: United States, Norway, I think, and Finland, obviously, because Mr. Mainman Horna Shadraug is one of the main men in the band, but this is kind of Norwegian band in a way, or that's the idea what I got from this. Now, this one kind of struck me with its really sinister and dark atmosphere, and yet at the same time being true to the very genre this is all about. That is Nordic black metal. There is only slight minor beauty flaws which I would have hoped to be fixed, but nevertheless, Satan of Sons is one of those albums you should pick from 2017 if black metal is your name of the game. Be sure to check it out. Let's hope witnessed that band live at some point. Now, number 7 is the name of the game, and now we're gonna shift genre from black metal death metal. For all those who were disappointed about Bolt Thrower, you know, going to its grave and leaving people without hope for good mid-tempo war death metal, fear not, Memoriam came in early 2017 with its album For the Fallen. Witnessing this band live made sure that this band is very good, and it's a successor to Bolt Thrower. Clearly, people from Benediction as well as Bolt Thrower made this album to be what it is. For big Bolt Thrower fans as me, Memoriam is one of the albums that just might fill the shoes someday. Memoriam, in my opinion, beats the weakest Bolt Thrower album, but clearly has no chance versus the better ones. But still, nevertheless, if you've been Bolt Thrower fan at any point, check this one out. Memoriam For the Fallen. So there is the 4 first albums, and it's time for number 6. Harlot. To me, this was previously unknown band. Coming from Australia, Harlot has already released a few albums, but Extinction came to me as a big surprise in the spring. This one plays, very pure thrash metal. Think of Exodus, think of Slayer, and you know pretty much what's going on here. Now, Harlot means a newcomer, and they know their stuff through thrash metal. But in my opinion, Extinction is their best album thus far. It's just so intense, aggressive, well produced, and vocal works, everything is pretty damn good there. This one is for you who are into thrash metal. So if you are, check this one out. Now we are going to the halfway here, and now the next one I don't have a physical copy of, but it's worth mentioning nevertheless, so I didn't want to leave it out from the list. That one is called Cannibal Corpse and Red Before Black. Now there was a little bit of fighting between this number 5 and number 4. I'm still waiting my physical copy of Cannibal Corpse. Maybe Metal Bladed will send it me someday for the review done. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But I wanted to include it in the list. And that's also because that's also the reason why we didn't do the review yet. But make no mistake, Red Before Black is pure Cannibal Corpse, kind of a brutal death metal with kind of a technical stuff here and there. But most of all, it's all about murdering, killing, and just violence with its magical production. Great growling vocals by Mr. Cannibal Corpse vocalist George Corpsegrinder Fisher. And I have had to go through the rest of the discography just to refresh my memory, and in order to make a comparison between Red Before Black and the other albums by Cannibal Corpse, and with clear heart I can say that Red Before Black is one of the best Cannibal Corpse albums to this day. So if you're a bit like me before listening to that album and like, man, I don't know if they are maybe too old to do a proper death metal album, forget it all about it. Check it out. Cannibal Corpse, Red Before Black. Totally awesome death metal album. And now to number 4, which in my books, like I said, was competing maybe more like with Cannibal Corpse, and this one is called Cut Up. Wherever They May Rot, the new album by this Swedish band, of which mostly just kind of is a successor to Vomitory from Sweden. Now we gave this band a review earlier in the year, so if you are more interested to see what I think of it, check it out from our review library. Now this one is very much in the same field, playing the ball as Cannibal Corpse. Vicious, brutal, fast tempo, relentless, unforgiving, just kicking your bottoms with all its technicality, but without being, too much of that. Just unforgiving album which plays pure death metal. And also, if you're interested in the band, why don't you check out our interview? Cut up number 4 in the list. Now number 3 were kind of albums which in my opinion, had not a head start, but kind of clear that they were better than the rest of the albums in my top 10 list. But nevertheless, this was no easy one to make, and we go back to black metal. Asagram potestas magicum diaboli. Sorry for my poor Latin, didn't have it at school, but this one is pure black metal. It's not an original album, but it's a debut album where every piece basically falls where it should be. All the single riffs, all the magical compositions making those great songs, vocal works, drumming, guitar works, just everything is near perfect here. Should this have come out in like 1995, this could be the kind of classic where albums like The Mysteries of Satanas and the rest of those magical albums are. But nevertheless, give this one a go if you ever been enjoying black metal. I know everybody won't agree with me with this album and will just say that this is not that good of an album. It's just okay, but to me this is the best black metal album of the year. Also, review made of this album, so check it out from our review library if you want to know more about my opinion. Now, number 2 brings us back to Sweden and also back to thrash metal. This came to me as a big surprise, even though I was a big fan of the previous album. This one is called Doctor Living Dead and Cosmic Conqueror. Now, the previous albums, these guys have clearly proven that they know their way of real American thrash metal. This reminds me very much of Suicidal Tendencies' Golden Years, which then again is one of my favorite bands. But yet again, this band is not just being a pure copycat, but also has stuff of its own to kind of prove that they know what they're talking about. Their first albums were good, but this one is the one that, in my opinion, makes this band really, really great, to the top class of thrash metal albums. So Dr. Living Dead, Cosmic Conqueror, the number 2 albums in my list. Now, those of you who have been following Rauta channel from the beginning might already have a clue what my number 1 album is. And should I have guessed before I got to listen to this album, early 2017, I wouldn't have guessed this album would be the number 1. I wouldn't have even guessed it's in the top 3. But here it is, and this one comes from Iceland. Solstafir, and I still don't know how to pronounce it. So goddamn horrible. But Solstafir's latest album, which came in the spring, really beautiful, really atmospheric, totally kind of a melancholic, but yet not yet hopeless album in any way, but kind of an album that started to grow with each listening time. Each spin kind of gave the album a new meaning. Well, maybe not a new meaning, but kind of strengthened it more than what it was before. And meanwhile, some of the albums are the type of albums that you kind of start get bored of, or at least you need some distance, or maybe they just kind of start to sound too repetitive. This one proved to be quite the opposite. This one is one of the albums that I listened to many times, even after the actual review in the spring, and to this day still this is the album that I think is the best of 2017. So Solstafir, even though they have made great albums before, this is the stuff I think they will be remembered of in the future as well. The best Solstafir album this far, and the best album of 2017 in my opinion. So all my favorite genres, death metal, thrash metal, black metal, more importantly maybe, just had to give way to this album, and what can I say, being a big surprise. Now these are my top albums of 2017. I don't know about you people here, but these are the albums I totally hope you will check out and give them a spin. What are your favorite albums? Top 3, top 5, top 10? Feel free to give me your suggestions, the albums I should have checked out. Maybe I have listened to them and I will comment on them, or maybe I haven't and I will check them out if you give me good ideas what I should be listening to, the albums which I kind of missed in 2017. Well, let's hope 2018 will be a beautiful year. Well, when it comes to the world of metal music, at least it looks very promising. This is my rant of the year of 2017. Thank you for watching and hope to hear from your favorite albums. As always, drop your comments, agreements, whatnot in the comment box below and follow us for more stuff to come in the 2018. Have a good year and listen to metal as always.